Hey everybody, welcome to another ranking. Here's my ranking of all the DreamWorks animated movies. Long time ago, back in 2015, when I first started YouTube, I did my top 10 favorite DreamWorks animated films. Now, there's so many DreamWorks animated films, and yes, my opinions have changed on some of those films that I talked about. I thought I'd just rank all 39 DreamWorks animated films. I try to go as quick as I can. It's a lot of movies, so let's power through this. Here's my ranking of every single animated DreamWorks movie, in my opinion, from my least favorite to my favorite. So let's get to it. Number 39, Shark Tale. Shark Tale is a terrible film. Despite it has Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro in it, it's still a bad movie with ugly animation, irritating main characters, even though it's Will Smith and Jack Black, two people I really, really enjoy. Neither one of them have chemistry or any ounce of comedy in the film. I hate the animation, and you can do really cool, amazing underwater animation and watch Finding Nemo. That did perfectly. I hate Shark Tale. I think it's irritating and stupid. Just not my thing. Number 38, The Boss Baby. This movie was fucking nominated for an Oscar. I don't know how, but it's trash. It's not funny. It's very immature, very juvenile. The animation's it's just CG animation. It doesn't look anything great or spectacular. I don't think I laughed once in the movie, and I don't think there was even a second I had enjoyment in it or had fun with it. So, yeah, it's stupid. Number 37, Home. Home was pretty stupid as well. It had like Rihanna and Jim Parsons in the movie. The animation was subpar. Again, the jokes are for children. This is like immature, juvenile style sort of animated films. Like, these are kids' movies that are only for kids and not for adults, and Home is just one of those ones. Number 36 is Turbo. It's about a snail who wants to be a racer. Again, it's just a subpar, juvenile movie. These movies are just kids can enjoy. They're meant for children. They're not meant for adults, and they're just not watchable for me. I just don't like them. Number 35 is Shrek Forever After. I think it's the weakest Shrek film. Rumpelstiltskin is a really cool villain, but there's a lot of unlikable moments with Shrek. He's kind of a dick in this movie, and I just don't like it. Making Puss in Boots fat is supposed to be funny. It's not that funny. The story just wasn't that interesting. Even though it could be interesting, but it just does the It's a Wonderful Life. Like, what would life be like if he never rescued Fiona? Like, I just don't care about that. And it's shocking how many times I didn't laugh in this movie. I think I laughed at one joke the whole movie, so it's not really a good thing. Number 34, Shrek the Third. Also not a good movie or a good sequel to the Shrek movies, but there are a couple scenes I kind of chuckled at. There's a couple scenes with Arthur and Merlin that are kind of funny, but it's still not as good as those first two Shrek films, and just very disappointing. 33 is Trolls. Trolls has nice animation and one or two okay songs, but it's just a childish movie, and I don't like any of these characters, and it's riddled with predictability and cliches. I just didn't like it. 32, Trolls World Tour. I came out this past year and didn't like it that much. I thought the ending was very good and clever, and how you can unite all these music genres together. That was clever. The whole movie was just unbearably unfunny, though, the whole time. Number 31 was Penguins of Madagascar. The penguins are actually like my least favorite parts of the Madagascar movie, so a whole movie centered around the penguins is kind of irritating. A couple of funny scenes here and there, but just not that great. Number 30, The Croods: A New Hope. This came out about a month ago. I'm not even a Croods fan, so this just was not funny. The animation's okay. The forestry and some of the imagery in the back is pretty good, but it's not that funny, nothing enjoyable. And I don't like this family. They're just not interesting to me. The Crude family, I don't care about them. So number 29 is Abominable. Again, nice animation. The main characters are kind of endearing, and there's some heartwarming scenes. I think if I had a kid, I'd show my kid this movie, but nothing mind-blowing, nothing unique or original. It's just okay. It's all right. It's all right. Number 28, The Croods. Same thing. It's okay. I just don't get invested much with this family, this Crude family and stuff. I don't care about them. And it's a lot. This first one was better than the sequel, but it's still not amazing to me. I saw it once, and I'll probably never watch it again. All right, number 27, Chicken Run. Chicken Run is probably the more overrated DreamWorks animated films. I still don't mind it. The claymation animation is fantastic. It's really good. There's a couple funny scenes in the third act, and I like kind of the story that they're trying to escape this farm so they don't die. But I didn't like the villain that much. The main character was kind of and it has the cliche of the liar revealed, which was not needed in a story like this. But it's not too bad. I think it's a little overrated, but it's not too bad. Number 26 is Over the Hedge. Over the Hedge is pretty good. I like Bruce Willis as what is he, the squirrel or the fox or something. I love Steve Carell in the movie. The animation's nice. There's some pretty clever jokes in this movie. However, with the plot, it's got a lot of holes in it because the story could have literally ended in the first half hour if they just did a certain thing properly. Despite its many plot holes in the movie, and it's really overly silliness of its story and jokes, it's still a not bad, harmless film, and I remember watching it and quite enjoying it. Number 25 is Madagascar. The first Madagascar is pretty good. They chose a pretty good voice cast, like Ben Stiller, J. Pickett Smith, David Schwimmer, and Chris Rock. The fact that they want to go to Antarctica, but they end up going into Africa instead is kind of funny and stuff. There's an interesting story with the lion. What's his name? Not Martin. Marty's the zebra. Melman, Gloria, and I always forget the lines. They Ben Stiller's character, but his story is pretty good. But yeah, the movie's fine. I think it's okay. 24, B Movie. B Movie is pretty underrated, actually. B Movie has Jerry Seinfeld in it, and he's a bee that wants to explore more of the world and stuff. And it's actually not bad because I don't know where the story was going when I saw this movie. I didn't know where they were going with the story. And that's interesting and enjoyable. And there's actually some pretty funny jokes. There's some even dark jokes in this movie. I'm like, I saw it in this movie. That's pretty clever and stuff. There's a dumb moments here and there, and there's some characters that I would have just taken completely out of the movie, but it's pretty underrated, B-movie. I think it's pretty underrated. Number 23 is Monsters vs. Aliens. I enjoy this movie. I think it's very, very, very funny. I love Reese Witherspoon's character. She's really great. And I love Seth Rogen probably steals the whole movie as the alien with the one eye. He is very, very funny in this movie. The president is also funny in the film as well. And Hugh Laurie is pretty good too. The sea creature is probably the shittiest character, played by Will Arnett. He's probably one of the worst characters in the movie. And also you have like the boyfriend who's an asshole and stuff. The villains are also kind of mad. The monsters really steal the film. I wish the aliens were a little more unique and they established more of their characters. But I think Monsters vs. Aliens is a pretty enjoyable film. Number 22 is Captain Underpants. I remember reviewing this movie. I didn't really see it again, but I did enjoy it when I watched it. I read the Captain Underpants books as a kid, and seeing the movie was good. I liked the animation. I liked the action. It was funny. The friendship between the two lead characters is really good. I think it's a good movie. It's not like an amazing masterpiece, but it's a fun kids movie. I enjoy it. 21, Madagascar: Escape to Africa. Better than the sequel. I like the main character has to finds his family and his dad and where he comes from. Marty the zebra, he wants to be different than all the other zebras. There's also a relationship between Melman and Gloria. It's pretty great. I enjoy Madagascar too. I thought it was I think with the Madagascar movies, I thought they got better as they kept going and stuff. Number 20, Megamind. Megamind was a good superhero movie. Will Ferrell, Brad Pitt, Tina Fey, Jonah Hill, all great in this movie. The best thing about Megamind, I'd say, the trailer didn't spoil the movie in the slightest bit, actually. Because the trailer only showed the first 10 minutes. Because you think the movie is about a villain and this hero going at it, but that's actually not what the movie's about. The movie's about the villain thinking he killed the hero, and what does the villain do when he finally kills the hero and has to take over the world now? What does he do then? After the villain wins, what do they do after? And it shows like how it's kind of boring when he wins and stuff and he has nothing to do. And then he actually has to become the hero. It's pretty great, actually. It's kind of a clever idea, and I quite enjoyed that. Number 19 is Sinbad, The Legend of the Seven Seas. Sinbad's a really good squashbuckling action adventure story. Great voice cast: Michelle Pfeiffer, Brad Pitt, Catherine Zeta-Jones. The animation is spectacular. The villain is great. The animation style they do with Michelle Pfeiffer's character is really awesome. It's predictable. There's a couple scenes that kind of drag, but I still really enjoyed it. And I like a good like pirate adventure movie. And I wish they made more movies like this. I think it's great. Number 18, another underrated one, Flushed Away. Flushed Away is about these like sea monkeys. He gets Hugh Jackman. He gets flushed down the toilet, and he ends up in this world, this sewer, with all these other creatures that were flushed away and stuff. It's really cool, very unique, very funny, and it's also about like you might find a situation that's like the best situation for you, but really there's more for you out there. The world is your oyster. The world is big. It's not as small as you think it is. And the film ties that message and that story really well. And I thought Hugh Jackman and Kate Winslet were both really great in this movie. Number 17 is Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were Rabbit. I like Wallace and Gromit. I liked some of the shorts and some of the movies. And this one was really good. It has some spooky and terrifying stuff, great atmosphere, and Wallace and Gromit are always great to watch. So, yeah, really great film. Number 16 is Puss in Boots. Surprisingly, I watched this movie kind of recently, which kind of inspired me to do this list. Really good movie, actually. Tom Banderas is back as Puss in Boots. You got Zach Galifianakis as Humpty Dumpty. Very funny movie. There's some good action, and I was shocked how pretty good this movie was. I always thought this movie didn't really hold up, but it actually does. I quite enjoy it, and I'd rank it in the pretty higher rank for DreamWorks. I thought it was good. I still think it is good. 15, Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted. Very, very funny movie. Probably the best Madagascar movie. It's super funny. How they're all going on the run with this crazy cop. Francis McDormand plays it. It's super funny. If you love good slapstick and good fast-paced comedy, it's really good. It feels like it's a British comedy. That's how we can describe this movie. Number 14 is How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. The third How to Train Your Dragon is a great film, and with a great ending, great, spectacular animation. I still think it's the weakest out of the How to Train Your Dragon movies, but I still think it's great. I don't have a lot of bad things to say. There's a couple moments here and there are kind of dull, and I thought the villain was kind of weak, but I think it's a great movie. All right, number 13 is Kung Fu Panda 3. Very great film. Still got the kick-ass action scenes and stuff, and Poe finding his dad's very, very, very funny. I love the villain played by J.K. Simmons is really great. I wish this Kung Fu Panda was a lot more serious than like the other two were. But it was more of the funny one. It is funny and it's very enjoyable and stuff. And I wish there was more Shifu because I love Shifu. But still great film. I love the Kung Fu Panda movies, and the third one's still awesome. Number 12, Ants, the first DreamWorks animated film. Woody Allen, Sylvester Stallone, Sharon Stone, Christopher Walken, big cast. This came out at the same time as A Bug's Life. I actually think this movie is better than A Bug's Life. I think it's funnier. It's got more creative ideas. I enjoy the characters more. I know the creator of this movie was working on A Bug's Life, then he went to this. I think he made a smart decision because I think Ants holds up more than A Bug's Life. Bug's Life is a fucking overrated Pixar film for me. I don't get the love for that movie. Number 11 is the first Shrek. Shrek. I love Shrek. It's got great soundtrack. Smash Mouth. Fucking 90s kid right here, man. Early 2000s too. What's there to say about Shrek? Everyone knows Shrek. Everyone loves Shrek. Shrek's a great movie. It was the first movie I also saw at a drive-in too. First time I ever went to a drive-in. Saw Shrek. Number 10, Rise of the Guardians. Love Rise of the Guardians. Great action adventure movie. I love this story that Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, Jack Frost have to team up and defeat the Boogeyman. Love it. Al Baldwin plays Santa Claus, probably the best Santa Claus in any movie. He's fucking badass. The cast is great. Chris Pine, Jude Law, Isla Fisher, Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman is the Easter Bunny. How badass is that? It's so incredible. Number 9, most underrated DreamWorks film ever. Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron. Amazing film, great atmosphere. They could have easily made this movie a silly, cheesy, like sort of Disney film, but they took it very seriously. I love that they didn't make like the horses like talk like they did in Disney films. It's a breathtaking, well-designed film with a lot of atmosphere and subtlety and great music, and I think Spirit's a terrific film. Number 8, Mr. Peabody Sherman. I love this movie. I always loved watching this movie with my niece and stuff, and I think it's super, super enjoyable. I just love watching this movie. It's funny watching Mr. Peabody Sherman go through all these time periods and meeting all these people. Super great, super funny. Number 7, The Road to El Dorado, another very underrated film. This movie I grew up with. I had the VHS tape of this movie, and I always fucking loved watching this movie. You got Kenneth Branagh and Kevin Kline as the two leads, and they're basically these con artists, and they find the city of gold, El Dorado, and then these people think they're gods and stuff. It is super funny, super enjoyable, great characters, a great villain, wonderful animation, and kick-ass music. Love Road to El Dorado. Number 6 is The First Kung Fu Panda, very funny movie with great mythology of martial arts. Again, every scene with Shifu is great, and I love that they got like people like Jackie Chan in the movie. It's fantastic. Great fucking movie, Kung Fu Panda. Top 5. Number 5 is Shrek 2. Shrek 2 is a very funny film. I think it's the funniest DreamWorks film ever. It is hysterical, super funny. They throw so many more jokes at you in Shrek 2, and it is hysterical. The relationship between Shrek and Fiona is much stronger in this movie. Just they introduce Puss in Boots and stuff, and I love all the things they do in this movie. And the Disney satire is super great. Just love Shrek 2. Number 4 is How to Train Your Dragon, the very first How to Train Your Dragon. Really, really great film. Amazing story about this boy named Hiccup and his relationship with the Night Fury dragon, Toothless, and how he has to almost betrays people to save the dragons and stuff. It's fantastic. If you love stuff about like barbarians and dragons and that kind of mythology stories, you'll love this movie. It's amazing. Number 3 is Kung Fu Panda 2. Kung Fu Panda 2 is a great fucking story. A great story. Amazing animation. The action is so good. Gary Oldman as the peacock villain is amazing. The way they talk about Poe's backstory is actually very emotionally hard-hitting. I love Kung Fu Panda 2. Some of the DreamWorks sequels, they're just so fucking amazing. And just especially the 2s. Kung Fu Panda 2 is amazing. And yeah, speaking of 2s, number 2 is How to Train Your Dragon 2. How to Train Your Dragon 2 is an amazing, amazing story. I love what they do with Hiccup's story and how there's so much growth in this movie. And they talk about his mother and this villain who's just so twisted on taking over the dragons. And there's so many emotional scenes and a lot of dark moments in this movie. And it's so fucking amazing. It's one of my favorite DreamWorks films. It's not my favorite, though. Number 1 is Prince of Egypt. Prince of Egypt is the best DreamWorks animated film I've ever seen. It's incredible. It tells the Moses story in an almost better way than the Ten Commandments did. And I think Ten Commandments is a masterpiece of a film. But the way Prince of Egypt did it was so great. And how they talked a lot more about the story and the brother relationship between Moses and Ramesses is great. Val Kilmer and Ralph Fiennes both do an amazing job in this film. The animation, the singing is all just perfection, and the score is powerful. It's hands down for me the best DreamWorks animated film. It's my favorite. So that was my quick ranking of all 39 DreamWorks animated films. Hope you all enjoyed that one. Say in the comment section below, please tell me what is your favorite DreamWorks animated film. Favorite, least favorite, give me your rankings, give me your thoughts and opinions, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.